Hello to my wonderful listeners. One Family TV wala mutanale nan kotenke. Mbadiŋolu i k'a fo me ko ami bojan sisoko atele moti me ye lon ko a fintita de a diyamuta de ay kujama fo ka tandi ko corruption o kana ñaadi le Gambia banko nin kanda a tandi ko corruption o ka start men na wala mo fulati de ay diyamu jama fo de ani mobe je me ye lon ko i ka fo fana ko sirim bojan ate fana mo moti me ye lon ko ay mo jaabi de me ye lon ko wala mo pa modu bojan ti a ata kuma kan do la de ka tandi ko pa modu bojan ka video dol bondi me ye lon ko wol manke bondi tati de me ye lon ko sirim boja yo fode ay kuma jama fode ani mobe je me yalon ko ka fay mamadou sabali fana mo molati me yalon ko adiya muta dem mbadi ngolude oton beni audio nat la lena me yalon ko ne lamayani hakkilola mbadi ngolum kane e lamoy anin ci sola de
ame fana yabo corruption o jamale yake moful ama possible corruption mo kliya
Ani.
corruption o sifa do muneti nkanale ngalon ko ame mum badi ngoleti ngana ngalon ko manya na tala ni silola bari bawo amile be siri yem badi ngolon amin lafta yem makoy ha yalon tun tollo badi ngoti ni manyinke nyini ame yawul ayawoke no corruption because more being equally as long as the public service bundale but the bank di mal fangole corrupta wala tinanka corruption because itani corrupta itani inata ni yawo fana corrupta adede corrupta le woto banko be corrupta wota manke ko min be santo le corrupta du manko le fan corrupta santo ngolti bawe to lete encourage alinga mfangide ngambira ni ala tem mini ya tinna yen sindi nyim palaso to tani mona tan kan do ko la mi yalla kan man ken do ko tin ka ko dila ni ko be dia mo si andi lan ko ila tan fo ngawul yale fo e man wala ila tamunela ko ndim ni la tan ngawul yale fo I'm sorry ni na mun tela ko mo ni no afo moye na be la filela to nyale ka na man la fila be la filela to nyale ka womu kuleti mi yalla ngon sen hakilo to wato baati
Sonya
bawo mi de korofni ikabo sole kono de jamal le wodaji kol kay to fay korofta do ko bundal nsem fanyi ne kawol so ali ngan hakilo to baate
abaraka
kuma do min nafta fola fondinke nka wajitu ne ya min kemeto to wala titna nga problem o soto baye ni sana ko min fo ni ko mi ko tase no la ni tango ko bi ni do ya ma adamu ne fona fate ya fa digo ya tase no la abe wala ko do ko bari mbema wuli pour ka mete clean soto ite mi yalon ko se o keno iya taro ke ya halalo soto yi ala e baraka kaji aye fi saye tayde wuli ya fala wala be tapale ya kala wala ye fa procedure man do ko to fambita drop minna drop mon ita ko do bo mun dole ila falia wala batay be bonen ay la fengolandi yalla tuto tata ya tawa yalla seno ta ya tawa yalla fano ta ya tawa ita tay sanna drop la ikoy man do ko na stola da te frustrate ida solve the problem o solve ka bang wala be problem wala fakan
kala fa
nsen hakko jamane be mbulu
boja sagaraga
nela ganna minna amu kundale timi yalon ko akadi yalla dole asakete bari mole munti mi yalon ko ayem mal woto mbak la non mbadi yengi din karo ke po proof man soto ko FDM aka motora bi ndesa ko fa entetora ibe tesa mala nyaka to bakaw ka cikali mbe sandi tan nte mama juju wala ba bulu kundu bo juju mama koy kanal samba bawo mbemba ma ko maleya andu tolla adonte adin yentuje barin kuluta sa kulole bulu itolko ila telenga futu di woye yenta yen samba nyaka to ay tan mama wol fongo ma kala ko meke tan sa fono jam because ko kamal wala
Sonya
bari la sa kole ko akan affecté ay affecté andu ko kade fono
Sonya sallallahu
ni aje ni kapenyo be malu fali akorosi le ba Ninya ka kuma be fota be onda be nya ka kuma min be fola ni sanji woro wolo kono alman biya mu kan moy ali ala ne munafiri me do ku bunda min tu nga respect le di wodo ku bunda respect ni nya dia wala tinna muka funti banta ka micro kuno muta barni wonte nan ko nga fangay be jan se fangay be pour kay tandina problème o min ayake.
Assalamu alaikum One Gambia Association Han Syndrome kana ka yitandiro ke aliye ku dola ni mu pamudu bojaneti President Baro banko bela president wala bari pamudu nyolu ike balu social media TikTok tenne because ning ay nyinku kuntan sifake ayake ala TikTok ala page oto followers mini bije aka kodo soto nyinela can to be for example comme ça UDP kolem andu UDP journalist olem dunia be banna ata alaji Usain Kelaten dunia be banna ata Yankuba Dabo Kelaten dunia be banna ata Talbe Bensouda Kelaten. Let's spade the spade. Bari ni aja ka President Barrow keten ka jele puru nyin kama ala pejo to asakodo so. That's number one. Number two, kodi nyino si fa siatale doli ka mo fale ke kodo so doli ka wuliyale fo puru isa kodo so doli ka tulu mol sondo moni mol hakilola puru ye kodo so wala tinna pa modunte journalist join the list lem at the same time akamin for President Barrow na broda mo sela broda or the head of state isa wola natalo ani wola video ika ke TikTok dunia kaje ika provoke banko kan anim banko e banta min ni nyaka nyinje ika sia ika kela pejolto pour wolfanan view min ni ka jibe isaje wolfanan ka kodo sata ngine mu fereti mi yalonko wala be kerim bi kunun min be keri molka kodo soto anin bi molka kodo soto nyamin amanke client because nim pa modu bojaye Adama Barola nyin keteng ayake ala YouTube page mimba jibela abisiala baki ala followers minta caring na watu sita minni kela watu bula ka jibe ikaje ate fananka kodo soto wolato because ikajole nyin kuru ya sifalela ikajo nyin ku kenyan taya sifalela walati nakita UDP journalist so nyille be caring banko kan nyine ya tinna respect ko adoyata nyine ya tinna tilimbalianing bala firingo siata and wo bala firingo na be caring 5 bare President Barrow ala ya dema aketa mansati mi yalonko ay sabari juso soto ay hakilo soto ay Gambia dingo be kumandi kilimba yala kaitandi Gambia non lako alnanga kafunga banko doku momo idabije momo ina sakeno ay Gambia dingo be le kumandi oto momo Gambia momo sula kaje ko lafita Gambia la kilimba yala lafita Gambia la tanyatola nakafu nim molu be system moto min yalon ko i wo atol fe mo kurumol lem sila nalman taraje albo dlara glend la no nyadi pa modu bojang I believe ila broda ita kela teng puru mol kela broda jele kantu ite fon kela teng puru mol ye jele first of all ye bute minna faraba ita wotala ya kela TikTok, you mock yourself. You will not do that. Why you do that to your head of state? And others mini alonko ike provoke le pru ite sakodo soto and ite from you are a victim, but do you ever provoke yourself?
manding kairaba ali nyi video tele sarse aliya lamoy nyi video kuma kan min ka faje alisa lamoy bake alifundu senona min kumata je lafta momonding ne nyi video je dukare ni si diamuno isi banke no yana kam moya dada yana kam molu hakkili mayandi nyin alhala sifalto mbe min baykan na balwolu kono to nyindiro mo fa kamoni yo kasara adun adobato afemba konnante ya hasidiya abeka bambu nin political koma woto lafta badin gambionu al sikumola moy baki nin al fundola nin al hakilola nyin video nakoro siro e min dinna na hakkilindi e min dinna nyimmin ya tombon iko kunu nga video munum man commenter akola bar bilon kuma kan yin sene atamma e ko ya fay jinore no kono ko nyil bota fo kan nyame ya bondi wala kono bari ta sute no la damma la hakkilo e min dinna nyimma nyana badela amanya na koronto to badela hanne ka mun no rake fewnu bijele isi min keno kan ya lande dinkrato yana ya ko enquête badi uno kabirin yaya jemmela tawna molu min ye fa ya jemmi siwato foy kulu kensen yo wirdin ko kono e coordinateur bijele min ya lonko ni yo mari kulo jube kala temu jumalati mana yatinna itenyi mabola nyimmi yalan ka kulul man babala amman kumu mi yalan ko ni safu mota amalan kunno ital na halama diuna bar hanna keta wala nyama du kare gambia nyanto material nyinin nale yalon jumala mu nyinti anin jumala ya fa anin jumala nyi manyake wonyanta kelalante kundimu ngamin mira akoto sayimbe hakidi mali nyinin kala anin salawnu lonnalu min yalon ko molu nyanta fere jumala kala pour kanyin ko ba nyama kono o mume kola mbe daniro kala niyaje mbukala fi video na jang bar nyi video be tula janne katun hadama diwna nyanto ti nyaman tambi nyinna nyi video abe tula janne insha Allah rabbi mbe daniro kala minna wala mu kuma kaw min fata jang folo momondi yalon ko ila mo yemantema katun ka moyle ika mol natalo nati ha kari yemanta afundita malata damin intil flol be ko non ka moy forumol to tare woto momondi yalon ko ila mo yemantema imma dundula long imma kalan long ne nyin kuma moyde asibal sinola asibal sinola isibul yelo akola yela mo ko ya enquête yala be dami folo wala mun na yamar foloti fulan jawti fam saban jaw wala mu nyinti ko mbadin gambia diwno alimbe ngambulo day alaye mini ye nyim fa mo kidin nembang mo fulalem bang mo sabalem ba asiatoti alo mari alaye fanan si keso kuntu alama alaye si keso kuntu alama alaye si keso kuntu amin ya rabbi min ye nyinke alama alaye si keso kuntu nakumo nani jang alama alaye lankenema alaye tenkeren alaye wanyari moli ye sute ninkari wala nyinke kumo loro jang wala mu nyinti nim molleli e bulala alame maril be tenkere na alama yesiyo be ke kaso kono mili e bulala katitelu imake molle bulala misalon to en kuma be jam falade wora wulan jang wala mu nyinti ko ni parti politico fasa wala e mari bulala ya min fasa la kola alama tenkere na alama siyo kuntula alama kana ke moti mi yalon ko wallahi abala dino na sawa sotla gambia kono ala kana ke mukk fo ndabe nyim kono ala me be wanyarla ala me be tenkerenna ala me be siyo kuntula nyim masiba ku sifalu mbadi uno niyaje sariyan ka mobulo kuntu ala la yamaro kan kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala yamaro kan ala mi ye molu da mote bala fa sotla moli ye tambi alala ay kila min ken kunton koti na tente atala alta dafen dala mission diala mosi hadamade on kanu nyawnya isik la fi hadamade on kayrol nyawnya ite kila sila woto niaje sharia on nata anata dadarolla kilin yettinya wuli kili ye balu wala fisiata a yo kilin kanandi ay kemol kasara niaje sharia on ka ne moye sunyaro ke kabulo kuntu niaje makkatu mando miliman jamfa jami on nen salwato sita ha dol kela martandiso latu mi yalanko so sinalo ya cikanole bare mo buka hanyala katu niake ke bulo kuntu sare banko be ne mo faye faaw man katala mu'minan fata amida jazahu jahannama badu be nyin la na tambi ko sifalo nyanta dandale banko mi yalanko ke mo kono tan kono to ni lulo be mu misil monati ngo alinga bambu ala ko ma banga mo kurunu nge danka ngamo kurunu danka min ya lon ko sifatam fanso be fari sondo moldo min ya lon ko kon nante abe fari sondo mo ko mande fena fo politiko ala me be tenkerena ha ala me be tenkerena moya diw mi wulu ay to ken do lala jiko sotala prasa da hande kabilo da hande duniya da hande uyo da nyinin o tata fo men to keta ke kanawti jahilolu ala lombalolu kafirolu kana ko mota ko nyin alhala sifa ke wala ko do bije alinga dankaro kewto wala ma tanin flote nyim mo kurun ala tenkeren bari milken nyin kenyin ala me siyo kuntula ala me tenkeren na ala kane sutro muk ngali be konto ngali jay ngal tentu
Gibson yalong altel man ko no understand Gambiano dengaro sale Gambiano e ka torade abe baramaling abe munyaring abe ala lunga batun kanne angalel ka fo nyamen 99 days for the thief 1 day for the master Gambiano e ka kuwo be kala le abe munyarinde ete kambe le ko anyinatale yamere le ko nyin kuwa ketala tambitale no Gambiano ye ku kurun kala ka ke almoro le kono aya mabo ali yajele na la mol mamanta yela kunun kumol na fenan e ka barol men kenun alkata le fali yamre ko wol nyinata le wol manyina baro ye kuwol membe ke mol ka fele ko mol diamutal doron inyinata inana manyina Gambiano le barola barol be tale ya pak altalo na de folu ngomen na barobe wulila ay ba nyal membe ke mol ba na fele le ya ke documentary altal mo wole londe barole be kala president flote ala manyal be kala documentary ala manya jawol mol ba be ariñ lay ba kala documentary he la ilaha illallah muhammad rasulullah Gibson nal yalo membe baro nyente kan Gambia di ngol le ba demand la ko be kala public demand la ko nyin kenn ngo alba kitinde la le bay force Gambia no dangerous telde mol ka fala ko ha mol ka diyamul watini ndoro yede no dok bankole do yata nim mol ko be tay juso la fay tambe do bankole be tay la wala ya sabu Gambia no ka stole ke ye ko ke ka tale ya sto ibe batun kan finde nyin nanata barobe nyim manya membe la barote kanala altelma wolelonde naadi yata eta mori bulu killing mori sing killing mori nya killing mori nyin kese killing mori nun hu killing wota sabula baro e kana nyin kumo altel ta understand la alta lonna bari alma alaye mbeso si jangoni jata kende yala albina understand la yalong altel sokol APRC barola alliance partner yalong altel wo altel lam alla jero fa ngobata al nun huwol abukatambe al nungol la because of aliyal dayele le fo jamme dun tapoto kono al makanandino baro be saren na kolongole kono al ta karandilano yalla ñu watin kono ko former minister ye how many charges le la akan wo mu fenyen ko leti baro na la ñu minister charges sol membe la wol kan wala be siala ye ñu minister men charge baro na la ñu mol ban ko dingol le ba diman la ko ñu mol ali be kitindi Gambianol be damen toy baramate jusol le kono because of ya jele barona la mol be tulun kam banko dingol la na fulola ibe kumol fula mole même man soto baro ye businessman ol ka terimati aya sabu banko dingol be problème o kono baro ba charge la economic crime la baro ye fengo fen diala ka fo ko kare len so wala no nin gambiyanol mata do ku wala mota sola transola nin business manol meta business olal de ni yaje bi ka fendi barola gambiya dungol le yata do ko la ultimately understand barola ko diminna futata gambiyanol ye damento barobe kala president ol me yalon ko public demand pour que baro muta ka kitindi ka soron ngata barona la ni minister kelenti je membe canada te barona la ni moli be wollel folo kitindi la janni be diya mula jammela kola gison altel yal dayele al yetara sino la yalon altel wo molta al bilim la jammela ni mol altel yal dayele fo jambe dun tapoto kono al ma kanandino the same thing albo wala kala kal dayele fo baroye dun
the effects of indiscipline in the school systems and the roles of parents as well in their students or their children's education. That is a wonderful theme, and now the floor is yours, Mr. Sabali. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Thank you, Chairperson. The lady poet, I am grateful, I'm impressed. The poet before this other poet, the love poet, that was a brilliant rendition also. Congratulations. Momodu Wuri, congratulations. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Principal, SMC Chairman, management and staff of this great school, Old Yundum, I greet you, I congratulate you. I equally greet and congratulate the parents of these young boys and girls who are moving one step higher today in the ladder of education, self-actualization, and the opportunity to impact the lives of their communities, the nation, and the African continent at large. Congratulations, and may Allah bless you all. I want to start off by paying tribute to the principal who happens to have been, we care about grammar at St. Peter's, right, Mr. Gomez? Who happens to have been my senior at St. Peter's Technical High School. We don't call them senior and upper basic, we call them high schools because we are at a very high level. Thank you, and may God bless you for the service you have been rendering to this great country, the Gambia. And thank you for being the embodiment of the key principle of this smiling coast of Africa, of love, of service to nation, of tolerance, of peaceful coexistence between tribes and religions and regions. I sat here listening to what the chairperson was saying about you, about the work you are doing in education and in religion. And I see in you, Mr. Gomez, the embodiment of the principles of the leadership of the late Bishop Michael Clary, of Father Jiloli, of the late Imam Momodu Lamin Ba, and the late Imam Ratib, Imam Abdullah Job. They were one in spirit, tolerance, peaceful cooperation, peaceful coexistence, and mutual understanding. That is the Gambia we know, and that is the Gambia that the whole world is proud of, that Muslims and Christians can coexist and support each other in their religious practices, and nobody and no institution will obliterate this beautiful legacy in this country, inshallah, bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters sitting right in front of me here, I say congratulations, you have come a long way. I pray that this journey continues, be it academic or in the other areas of TVET or even sports and entertainment. But whatever you do, just know that this is not the end of your education. Wajamano tambitale wato men ninki yankol dingol jita school, secondary school, ikaye karango banne, karango buka bangba dingol, karango mukuleti me ya lonko, aninna dinoto ikonga lundo nyini, tabirim bamburangoto fo kaburoto yen karandi walla ki yankol fatol buka kilala hadiso la moy bang. Nyun la karango mambande alga dindi wol mako yingi fasa ye continue yeta university da school of nursing nko hani fair football aka karanne say faltol man football academy soto kiyam bang jaram ko wol ya soto le woto karama mu kuleti me yalon ko anyanta continue la le education and I repeat, education is the greatest resource we have in this country, but it is also the greatest resource that the greatest country has. You talk of the biggest universities in this world. You talk of Harvard. You talk of Vanderbilt University. America has wealth, but America still invest and insist on educating her citizens. That is the path we must take. If you belong to a religion whose first verse ever revealed in the Holy Quran is Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq, do I need to stand here to talk to anybody about the importance of education? If you are a Muslim and you know Allah tells us clearly in the Quran, Hal yastawi alladhina ya'lamuna wal ladhina la ya'lamun, do I need to convince you that education is important? What I am going to talk about here is not the importance of education, but the importance of the complementary value of discipline. The school asked me to talk about the effects of indiscipline in schools and the role of parents. I think this is a very critical element in our society now, and this should not just be a topic at this graduation. It should be on GRTS, it should be on QTV, it should be on the pulpits in the churches, on the members in our mosque, because this country is staring right into the face of a crisis of indiscipline. What has a graduating student got to do going to block our roads in the name of sign in, sign out? What is that, Mr. Gomez? When we said sign in, sign out, it was school to make sure you are on school on time. What are you signing out from? You have not even started your education yet. It was the legendary Jeliba Kuyate who famously sang, Ako dindingo mupototi kana wososo yada nyameng akaja wale nyama. He said the human being, a child, is like a mold of clay. The way you mold that clay is the way that it dries up and becomes a permanent fixture. In the Holy Bible, in the book of Proverbs, a similar wisdom is preached there, and God tells us, start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. So the problem of indiscipline must be cured at the very foundation, at the level of these young boys and girls, and at younger levels. Discipline can only be instilled in an early age when the human being is in their best form to be molded. There can never exist any civilized society, there can never exist any prosperous society without discipline, and our schools are the perfect furnaces for the production of disciplined youths and citizens. I note with gratitude that the theme of this particular graduation also captures the indispensable role of parents. Ndingol la karongo anila kuluo ntabula nono teacher sol dammalu bulu. Tonya teacher kumaya tale. Wahdek teacher amna solo si yar halel. Why teacher rek munuta yar halel. Hale bi fuñ ko yare ci kër bi la mo doore su ya ho fofu rek teacher bi du ko mëna defar. Su dee teacher bi dafa bëgg yar sa doom mu yar ko fi mu ñibi kër nga tek ko ci benen yoon teacher bi liggéeyam du am njëriñ. And I am saddened, I am disappointed to note that in this country, in this Gambia, we have recently witnessed a case where a simple disciplinary matter in a school was taken to the high courts. What kind of direction are we taking this country? If we as parents, if us as parents cannot trust our children with our teachers to put them on the right path, I know I'm Mamadou Sabal. The reason why I respect teachers everywhere, including all of you, is because I could not be what I am today without the education and the discipline that teachers like them instilled in me. And I think all Yundum, you are very lucky. If you are a parent and your children are in this school, you have to be lucky. Because if you want discipline in your children, hand them over to a Manjago teacher. Have you ever seen a Manjago teacher who is not strict with his students? God bless the Manjagos. I have lots of them. John Bass, Kinta Mendy, Samper Mendy, you know them. All my best teachers were Manjagos. And the schools are renowned for their discipline. St. Peter's Primary School, St. Peter's Technical High School, especially under the legendary Anne Teres Ndong Jata, is discipline that they showed in us. When we talk about the extant subject that is indiscipline, we must ask ourselves the question, what went wrong? What went wrong regarding the discipline of our children? Where are we? What used to obtain in the past? My first diagnostic premise is that we went for Western education whole scale without making sure that our cultural values were fully integrated into the stuff that we were feeding into the minds of our young people. The abandonment of our rites of passage contributed to the deterioration of the attitude of our young people. Add to that the proliferation of global media input into the minds of our young people, and then the now widespread use of social media with its obvious and unmistakable influence on the young fertile minds of our children. The emergence of the idea of unbridled human rights without the necessary concomitant promotion of human responsibilities is adding fuel to the fires we have already lit in the minds of our young people. I was saddened recently, and I'm not ashamed of saying this, and you can quote me anywhere. I said it, that I went to a school and they wrote in bold letters that this school does not allow corporal punishment. I say, if you are trying to impress me, Mamadou Sabali, the student of the late John P. Bojang, I am not impressed. Because John P. Bojang, he had a particular week called Yukandi. If you misbehave, he'll beat you. And I believe that. With due respect to the rights of children, if a child misbehaves, that child should be beaten, as taught in the Bible in the book of Proverbs. The English, they have their own proverbs and they don't lie. What they tell us is that spare the rod and spoil the child. And I believe that is a fundamental spiritual, metaphysical truth. Alinga dindingol kulu, nkana balafa dindingol ye. Ni man dindingo kumbondi, na ke bata be kumbo da wala be keri mbanko kam. Da nga yar sa halal, nga tek ko si yoon mu yaru. Nga joylo xale bi tey moo gën xale bi maaga ëllëg mu joylo la. Te gis nañ fi ay waajur yi nga xam ne seen xale yi dañ leen joylo. Fii ku sa xale jël kus mu laal ko yow waajur gi di nga jooy waaye loolu tane na sax gis nañ fi ay xale yu jël paaka ren di seen waajur gis nañ ko fi man duma fen si suma wax kon xale yi foog ñu yar leen ñu teg leen si yoon teachers yaa ngee def luñ mun a def waaye mënuñoo bàyyee yar bi teachers si ñoom rek mënuñ koo def nay leen dimbale wante ñu dimbale suñ xale yi parce que suñ xale yi ñooy yele suñ nguur bi ñooy yore luñ bokka di Africa yi nga xam ne loolu mooy the future of the world is the next frontier, but it will go nowhere if we don't maintain our traditional cultural values and discipline our children for their good and for our own good later in life. Speaking of social media, in as much as our teachers are trying, and I know no teacher will allow your students to be in school and be on Twitter and Instagram, and you need them grant the other one with a small yellow face, what is it called? Yellow pen, I think that's the one they call Snapchat. I am not totally against social media, and I think children can use social media in a smart way. I know of mathematics, biology, geography, handles on Facebook, on Instagram, where you can go and learn something. But it should not be a platform for you to go and expose your nakedness, for you to go and share bad music that is corrupting the young people of this country. How can we maintain disciplined children when our radio stations allow teenagers to play pornographic music and we play it on our radios and TV? How do you discipline our children? You cannot control their minds because you cannot control what they are watching on social media. We need to do this collectively. Teachers, parents, imams, pastors, and even those of us with government, we must apply the law. Even in America, the maker of democracy, certain music, you are not allowed to play it in your radios. We should not allow it in this country. And inshallah, we will stop it and we will never allow it in this country. We will not allow anybody to destroy the future of this country by bringing in bad, negative influence in the minds of the young people of this country. What is the way forward, Mr. Principal, in conclusion? We must not show too much love to our young ones. Yes, I said it. I'm not saying you should hate your child. But if your child has malaria, giving that child Neverqueen does not mean you hate the child. Neverqueen is very bitter. But you give it to the child out of love so that she can pull out that bile and earn that golden treasure called health, because health is wealth. But even your health will never be maintained if you are not disciplined. This is the responsibility of us parents and the authorities, both in schools and at the level of central government. The problem of indiscipline can only be solved when parents, school authorities, and government officials come together to work in partnership. Otherwise, we might just as well invest in some major insurance scheme because the resultant disaster cannot be avoided. The Holy Bible says in the book of Proverbs again, do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish them with the rod, they will not die. Punish them with the rod and save them from death, because indiscipline leads you to early death and premature death. Where are the fathers of the teenagers of this country? This is a question I am asking. Because even with a perfunctory look here, you can see that we have more mothers and fathers. I think we, the fathers, especially of the young fathers, we can and we must do better in our roles in parenting. You cannot leave the upbringing of your child totally with the mothers. They will cook, they will wash, they will iron. Most of the school fees in this period is paid by our mothers. And that's not a bad thing. But if your mother is helping, please do your own contribution. Don't spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the friends of your houses watching Premier League and La Liga and whatever leagues you're watching. Alaman Sambanan Jang Fea Kama Yala Dinu pour yefi for football fola. Liggéey la nag mun nga see dugal sa doom sa xaleel mu dem jàngi football mu jëriñ la jëriñ réew mi waaye toog seetaan football a whole weekend xamuloo ndax sa doom def na homework am lijjantewuloo sa yëfi school fees nga ne football ngay seetaan loolu yëfi caaxaan la kon ñun bàyyi especially ñun bàyyi ndaw yi ngeen gën a farlu si dimbale suñ xale yi yar leen ak dimbale leen si seen jànga ñu dimbale suñ jabar yi ñu defar suñ future, parce que xale yi ñooy suñ future. That is advice I'm giving to myself and all these young fathers. We can and we should do better. To the children, the graduating ones, I share with you a quote from the Dalai Lama. He says, a disciplined mind leads to happiness and an undisciplined mind leads to suffering. How many of you want to suffer? How many of you want to be happy? Is there anybody there who wants to be happy? If you want to be happy, you must embrace the ethos of what I call, I was talking about discipline, right? I am adding a prefix to it now, and I'm calling that self-discipline. Your parents will help you. Your teachers will mold you. But ultimately, you have to decide to focus and to avoid distractions and to follow the rules of the house and the school and to follow the rules of the nation and to follow the laws of God to be able to be successful in this world and in the hereafter. Anything less than that is indiscipline, and the road to indiscipline will lead you to the city of self-destruction. All these temptations on social media, the temptation of tie, the temptation of alcohol, the temptation of kush is nothing but lack of self-discipline. We went to school. He read my biography here. When we were going to the University of the Gambia, they called it a floating university. They called it Jangi Jollof. They called it a Mickey Mouse. It is now that people are proud to say they are the University of the Gambia. When we were going, they were laughing at us. But we sacrificed. We had the discipline. We spent sleepless nights at MDI. Myself, Commissioner General G.R.A. Yankuba Daba, his deputy Esa Jalo, Energy Minister Nani Juara, our ambassador in Morocco, Safilo Sise. Where are they today? If they were indisciplined, would they be where they are today? Yankuba Minte just signed a contract in the Premiership. If he is indisciplined, would he get that contract? If Yankuba Minte were smoking kush, would the British be interested in signing him with more than 30 million pounds? Would they be interested in that? If Musa Barrow was indisciplined, he was not following the instruction of his teachers and coaches, would he reach the level he has reached now? Would he? If Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest player of all time, oh sorry, is it Lionel Messi? Is it Messi or Ronaldo? Whoever is the greatest player, if he were not disciplined, follow the instruction of the teachers and the coaches, would he reach the success that he reached? If Ronaldo were smoking kush, would he be able to do those bicycle kicks to score those goals? Because kush destroys your life, and the adherence to kush is nothing but the manifestation of the lack of discipline in our young people in this country. We have to solve these problems from the roots. And I repeat, parents, and I am part of you, we need to help these people, the most useful elements in our society, the teachers, and I think their salaries should be increased. Thank you. I'll tell the President. In conclusion, I want to thank you for the trust and confidence of bringing me here. I want to congratulate these beautiful young boys and girls. I want to tell you this, like I told the students of Nusrat, like I told the students of Nema, like I told Sabali FC yesterday at the training ground. My message is simple. it's neat, it's clean. Push away the kush. Now, did you hear that? What did I say? Push away the kush. Remain clean, remain law-abiding, remain peaceful, and above all, I am asking you to be happy.
Gibson, aliyal da yelele, fo jamme ngodunta poto kono. Al nyal ma yele no, al ma ya marino, al ma koy no, fo jamme felende abe equatorial Guinea bi Gibson. Ala kata aliye baro ma koy, jannim baro be tunen kono kolon kono. Baro bina wulita public demand abe kira wolti pour ka baro muta ka kisi ka kitindi. Baro bina wulita jannim molbe jammela ko fola baro la ko be wala folo lijantela. Baro e contrat kol mendi ba be audit lele cling tapale yal men ta mata o contrat kol ta be Sénégal le audit reportol be la tableau kanne. Altel mo wolo ni yalum baro na la ni ministal janning albal da yelela comme aliye men ke fo jamme ko ngodum tapato kono yalon aliyal da yelele fo jamme tunanta alla nyin kawye ya albenu walla Gibson janning albal da yelela ko tenke alta baro ma koy baro iba telefolo kitindila janni be jamme kitindila situation o kata nyamenna te baro ta be kala public demand lati baro banku dingol le ba demand la ko nyin kenni ngo kana anala minister yalo nyi watin kono iko yewo minister tale 27 charge la kan bari baro be charge sol men fes da be tambila 35 charges la ngata simbe duma sabe duma economic crime wala be kala number 1 baro altel malo men be kiri banku dingol le kam fata baro ka tulum banku dingol le la abe kumol filamente sotola abe kuol commencer la mente sotola abe banku dingol 149 la 149 project call fake project call kumol fo même man soto kado kuol commencer ko dita budo kono aba dundila jana aba bondila jana abe ko be jakasila mengina garawta wala munanata bu ko to nya fo banku dingol ye abe tilimbali akela banku dingol la baro gambie dingol be kam faari nga kama nyamen na nim baro wulita num bi etama abe kala public demand lati pour ka baro mutaka kitinde public demand abe kala wolti yalo mol kanyim man fal yalo altel APR sinkol men ye yaya jamme tunendi kolon kono altel nyal bu ka yele altel man vision soto al bu ka ku crossi al ya souté al bal da yele ten ne fale baro tunendi kolon kono yalo baro yaya jamme dun tak potole kono bari baro be tunen na kolon le kono altel man vision soto altel bu ka ku crossi al ya souté situation o be nyamen na amam baro arrange baro e bakop ay tubi ay mol bolo sey ay sila dota before it's too late namon kawati nim baro ten fa wulita banko di ngol ba di man la ko jannal be jammela ko fala ali nyim fodo kitindi contrat kol membe dita ala be audit munala tamata nin contrat kol tema contrat kol kita nyaadile iba be la audit la jamme baro economic crime iba chatla wolda nim nal me koytu ibe baro le folo kitindi le ba folo le soronna janni be jammela ko fa fala nin ko alata aliyatu fi jambo bala aliyaji be son altermal balo la ko be kala public demand lati yankuba touré la ko keta nyamenna balo la ko be kala wala nyama albaji la gambie di ngol yelo kaje ko barona la mol ye kitindi bay force